Picture this. 1 minute, life's normal. The next, the sky's screaming, and everything you own is gone. That's what hit China in June 2025. Tornadoes tore through Jilin province like they had a personal grudge. Floods slammed Yunnan, wiping out whole villages. Hundreds of families watched their lives vanish in seconds. This isn't some headline you skim and forget. It's real, gut-wrenching, caught on raw footage that'll make your heart stop.
Up in Jilin, the sky went dark, like someone flipped a switch. It was 3 a.m. on June 5 when this monster tornado rolled in. A white, swirling beast, stretching so high you'd think it touched the stars. It sucked up water, chunks of earth, anything in its path. Houses didn't stand a chance. Roofs peeled off, walls caved in. Those pretty green tiles folks spent years saving for, scattered like leaves. Metal sheets flew, wrapping around power lines, knocking out electricity for over 2,000 homes. I saw this one clip, a woman just standing there, staring, as her fishing net got yanked into the sky. Debris was everywhere, floating like the world was upside down.
Meanwhile, down in Yunnan, it was a different kind of hell. On May 31st, flash floods hit Katong village in Yunli town, Nujiang County. Water came roaring in like a dam broke loose. Bridges, gone. Roads, mud. Homes, just piles of broken wood and brick. Hundreds of houses washed away. Cornfields, tobacco crops, everything folks lived off, buried in sludge. It's hard to even describe the loss. People who spent their whole lives pinching pennies to build a little place to call home, they've got nothing now.
There's this image stuck in my head, an old woman sitting in the rubble holding a cracked family photo. Her eyes were red, but she wasn't making a sound. The flood's roar drowned out everything else. That village, with its bright yellow and white houses, used to be something out of a postcard. Now it's just gone. The mountains around it just watched, like they didn't care. Back in Jilin, another tornado, this one brown and mean, ripped through. It flipped roofs like they were paper. Streets turned into rivers, cars bobbing like corks. There was another village nearby that dodged the worst of the funnel, but the winds still hit hard. Walls collapsed, power poles snapped. It looked like a bomb went off. People were running, yelling, trying to make sense of the chaos. Lucky for them, no one got hurt, at least that's what the local officials said. But you don't walk away from something like that without scars.
Yunnan's disaster cut deeper. The floods didn't just take homes, they cut off the world. A power plant got buried under rocks. Thousands of homes lost electricity, water, internet. Roads were trashed, and cars crawled through the mess, one wrong move from sliding into a ditch. Rescue crews were out there, working themselves to the bone, but it's like trying to stop a tidal wave with a bucket.
Here's the kicker. Most of the young folks had already left these villages, off chasing better jobs in the cities. So who's left? The old-timers. They're the ones kicking through the wreckage, trying to rebuild with whatever's left. I saw this one guy, must have been pushing 80, hunched over with a shovel, trying to fix a wall. Sweat's pouring down his face, but he's not stopping. These people spent decades building their lives, and in a few hours, it's all dust. Nature doesn't care about your hard work. Katong used to be a gem. Picture tidy houses tucked against green mountains, fields full of corn and herbs, streams running so clear you could see the bottom. Folks were proud of that place, of what they'd built, but that flood turned it into a nightmare. Fields are mud now, houses are just foundations, if that. The bridge that connected the village to the rest of the world? Swept away. They're cut off, stranded. You see these scenes and it hits you hard. There's this one guy standing in what's left of his home, holding an old picture of what it used to be. He's not crying, not saying a word, but his face says it all. Anyone who sees that would choke up. Doesn't matter how tough you are, something like this breaks you. But these folks, they keep going. They're out there, digging, rebuilding, even when it feels hopeless. The tornadoes and floods didn't just wreck houses, they crushed dreams. In Jilin and Yunnan, people lost their homes, their crops, their sense of safety. But you know what's wild? Even in all that destruction, there's fight left in them. Rescue teams are still out there, pulling people from the rubble. Villagers are piecing things back together, one brick at a time. They're not giving up, no matter how bad it gets. But it makes you wonder, why is this happening? People in those villages say they've never seen storms this bad, not in their whole lives. Tornadoes, floods, they're coming faster, hitting harder. Scientists are sounding alarms, saying this is just the start. Climate change is making the weather meaner. These disasters aren't just China's problem. They could hit anywhere, anytime. Think about Jilin. That white tornado was like something out of a horror movie, towering over everything, sucking up water and tearing through towns. People filmed it, and you can hear the wind howling like it's alive. Then there's Yunnan, where the flood didn't even give a warning. Water just poured in, taking out bridges, homes, entire fields. One day, it's a quiet village. The next, it's gone. These videos aren't just clips. They're a wake-up call. Nature's changing, and it's not messing around. People can be tough, but we're nothing against a storm like that. Hundreds of homes are just gone. Thousands of lives turned upside down. Yet these folks are still out there, trying to start over. That's the kind of strength you don't see every day. Now imagine this happening where you live. Your house flattened, your family scattered, everything you worked for gone in a heartbeat. What do? Run? Stay and fight? The people in Jilin and Yunnan didn't get to choose. They're stuck, picking up the pieces, even when it hurts. This isn't just a story about storms, it's about what it means to keep going. Those old folks in Yunnan, they've lost everything, but they're out there with shovels, rebuilding. Rescue teams in Jilin, dead tired, still digging through the mess. They're proof that even when the world falls apart, people find a way. But here's the thing, are we ready for what's next? Another tornado? Another flood? It's not a question of if, but when. And it's not just China. It could be your town, your street. Can your home hold up against that kind of rage? Or will it be like those villages, just a memory? Nature doesn't send invitations, it shows up, and it doesn't care who's in the way. Watch these videos. Listen to the wind scream, the water crash. Look at the homes turned to rubble, the people left with nothing. This isn't just their fight, it's a warning for all of us. Storms don't pick favorites, they can hit anyone, anywhere. So tell me, are you ready?